Hello. Yeah, artistcam-mtl. I was just out for a shoot. I'm going to tell you all about it. It is so hot today. I'm sweating here. Well, you know what? I'm going to keep this short. It's Tuesday. I'm going to tell you all about what I'm going to be doing every Tuesday now. I'm going to go wipe my face. So you know what? Roll the intro. I'm back and dry. So, what I'm going to be doing every Tuesday now is something I'm going to call Two for Tuesdays. So 2 segments in which the first one will be a review of something that I might enjoy outside of photography. So, nothing to do with photography. Could be television shows, could be restaurants, could be anything. Now the second segment, that's going to be photography based, and more than likely it'll be a review of the shots, images that I've taken and processed from the last weekend. So basically we'll go from what I did, where I went, what I shot. I'll show images. And then I might even get into some processing workflow, aka fumbling through Lightroom. Okay. We'll see. So guys, I love sci-fi shows. Star Trek, Star Wars. I loved Firefly. Fuck sucks! Pardon me. Outcast. Terra Nova. I love these shows. The problem with all of these shows, and most of these shows, with the exception of Star Trek, they all get cancelled. They all get cancelled super quick. So when I hear Seth MacFarlane has created a TV show along the lines of Star Trek, Galaxy Quest type of show, the first thought that comes to my mind is, fuck sucks! Oh, pardon me. A little bit of a cold there, it's getting pretty bad. I better... Fuck sucks! Oh, I'm sorry. Look, I better make this quick before... Fuck sucks! Oh, God. Bad cold, very bad cold. Sorry about that. Alright, just gonna go to the review. Okay, thanks. Now, episode 2 starts off with the second officer, Bortis, coming into the captain's quarters, office rather, and asking for a leave of absence because he's just laid an egg. Yes, laid an egg. Actually, the description was a rather large egg. So, that's funny in and of itself. The captain obviously congratulates him and proceeds at his, usual attempt at humor, in which, of course, Bortis, who has absolutely no sense of humor, stands still and just stares at him. Something about dibs on an omelet, and it's a bad joke. No, it's a bad yolk. So you can imagine. Now, the next scene was Bortis asking if he can go back to his quarters, and all I can think of at that very moment was, I want an Egg McMuffin. I was hungry. I admit it. I wanted to go out and buy an Egg McMuffin. They were talking about eggs. It was funny. Only to find out that the very next scene, when Bortis left, was the captain saying, and I quote, "I want eggs now." So it was hilarious. I cracked up. So it was a good start to the show, definitely. Now the intro came next. Meh. Didn't like the intro so much, a little long, a little boring. A little Galaxy Quest-esque, if you will. Of course, right after the intro, the very next scene makes up for it. Love it. Captain walks onto the bridge and informs everyone that Bortus will be taking a leave of absence due to the fact that he just laid an egg. And right away, second pilot, John Lamar, pulls out a joke. Where does it come out? Where does the egg come out? The butt? Hilarious. Loved it. And from then on, look, I am not going to go into every single scene in these reviews because, frankly, I'm lazy. Just saying. But watch it. This was a thoroughly enjoyable episode, as was the first one. Loving the series so far. Just watch it. Take the time on Sunday. Get the guy the ratings. Make sure that... Fuck sucks! Sorry. Fuck sucks! Sorry. Make sure that they don't cancel it. Because, you know, frankly, Fox sucks. So Friday afternoon at the park. Saturday brought some frustration. Some boats, water, and a baby on a phone. And then Saturday night was alright for some lights. Oh, not funny? Oh, pictures. Okay, let's get right to Friday afternoon. Had a fantastic time at a park in Westmount, Quebec, on the island of Montreal. Got some great images, and it all started with a little bit of a surprise. It's kind of nice. Yeah. That way. Pictures. Yeah. Friday afternoon at the park. So I'm walking, there's a whole line of bushes, and I see through the bushes, I see this scene, and I think it's going to be a beautiful shot. I can see some water, some reflections. So my original thought was I'm going to get that scene. So I go to my go-to landscape lens, 15-30 f2.8 Tamron lens with VC, gorgeous lens. I pull it out, slap it on, I wiggle through the bushes, and I get down, start to set up the shot. So while I'm setting up the shot, I get a nice surprise. Two young ladies walk into the scene and begin shooting pictures. They're on the other side of the water. So my 15-30 is not long enough, so I swap it out for my 24-70 f2.8 Tamron lens. Again, gorgeous lens, love it. And I do as I always do, I turn a photographer into the subject, right? I actually love this, the poses of the photographer. Almost as much as the model here. I actually lied down for this one, and I love the quality of light. I definitely love the way I processed it. I brought out the beautiful blues in her jeans, and overall it's a great shot. Now for the next few shots, I only bought my main three lenses, my Trinity 15-30, 24-70, and my 70-200 Tamron, all 2.8 lenses. Love them. So when I happened upon some birds, I pulled out my 70-200 Tamron. Love it. Again, a gorgeous lens. But I had to zoom up all the way to 200 to get these shots. And after in the processing, I still had to zoom out almost practically to 1:1. Thankfully, due to the Tamron quality of lenses, and of course my Nikon full frame, I managed to pull out some pretty nice images. I love the light through the wings here in this shot. And the colors are fabulous as well. I love it. So, I had spent about a half an hour shooting. I didn't have a lot of time. I was walking back to the car, and when I got along the path, there was a point where you can see a little river that's going through, and there were some bushes. And between two of the bushes, there was this little girl. She was playing in the water and kicking up the water. So I pulled out my 7200 and I got up close to the bushes, and the light was coming from behind her. And I snapped off a couple of shots and I got this beautiful image. I love the quality of light here. Now the sun was coming directly towards the camera, and I managed to get her just as she was lifting her leg and splashing some water. So Saturday I had a shoot planned at a local MMA gym here in Montreal. Unfortunately that fell through. I'm hoping that I'll be able to pick that up next weekend. So I didn't have anything to shoot, so I just decided, just got in my car, started driving. About 20 minutes from Montreal, I found myself at the Chambly Basin, where there were lots of people and boats and water, and then I realized that I didn't bring this. One of my most important tools when I'm going out. This is the Tamron 150 to 600 millimeter zoom. So when I'm going out and I land somewhere with boats and people on the water, then I can zoom all the way out and reach them. And I left this at home. Now that's frustrating. So long story short, I got a few images. I especially like this one. You can see she's about to paddle, and you can see nice background and her reflection in the water. I appreciate that. Now that brings us to Saturday night at the Old Port of Montreal. Now this was a fun night. This was a good time. I got, in my humble opinion, some spectacular images which I'll be showing you. I'll go through some basic settings I was using. It's night photography, longer exposures. I got a couple little surprises. So there was a few people around, so give you a few hints on how to shoot when people start showing up and you don't expect it. You didn't want people in the picture. You can still add some people in the picture, and you can get away with it. I'll show you that in a second. The first couple of images I'm going to show you are in celebration of Canada's 150th birthday. They have this nice little image up, and it's a magnet for people wanting to take selfies and pictures of other people around it. So I got a few options there, and it's got some nice images. So the first image is the widest view from the side, and I shot this at 2 different ISOs for use in another video. Spoiler alert, ISO comparisons coming soon. The first was shot at ISO 5000 f16 1 second exposure. And the second at ISO 400, that was shot at f11 at 15 second exposure. And processing was exactly the same for both images. So I continued, and I got a few more options at ISOs down to 50. Low 1.0 on my Nikon D750 full frame, and you can see the results here. I love the orange glow in the background to the right. I love the different speeds of the Ferris wheel. At times it was standing still and it's a little bit sharper, and other times it's just a blur. I even took advantage of someone trying to take a picture with their cell phone, and I included their subject in my image. I just moved the camera over a little bit. That was actually a 15-second exposure as well. So it was kind of nice of them to stand there for 15 seconds without moving. Thankfully the photographer was actually having a little trouble with his cell phone and stood there for a good 20 seconds while I took that picture. I thought that was amazing. No, the majority of these pictures are are processed in exactly the same way. Yeah. Hey guys, thank you so much for watching the video. If you got to this point, hey, congratulations, thank you very much. If you liked it, hey, click the like button down below. Leave a comment in the thingy. Share to all the people, all of the places, and subscribe button thingy. I'm not sure where it is and where I'm pointing, but it's down there somewhere. Subscribe. Subscribe. You can do it. I know you can. See you next Tuesday. Peace!